was teasing Kyle. Y'all gonna ask me questions tonight. Not that I ever answer very good, but I feel like we went through 4 games, right? So it seems like we started Wednesday and we just finished today. So I'll do my best to answer your questions, but it was pretty much what we expected, a heavyweight knockout. And we have a lot of respect for their program. You can tell they're champions. They run the ball right at you, and they've got great play-action passes off of it. They're very well coached, and they're champions. There's a reason they've won our side 3 years in a row. And I guess what our team is, we're not a perfect team. We have our fleas. We mainly the head coach, but even him, player-wise, you know our limitations. If you watch the game enough, you've kind of figured out where we struggle at certain things. We do our best to cover that up. But here's something that's never, ever wrong with my team. It's their effort. They never go away. And we'd say it all the time, a champion has the ability to play one play longer than his opponent, and we played one play longer than they did tonight. That was it. That was it. The ruling on the field on Zakari was a gut-wrencher. You would have thought the game was over. We had 2 timeouts left in our pocket, and our defense came up with one of the biggest stops in the history of our school. So we had 60 seconds left to go about 80 yards with no timeouts. And we worked that stuff, once or twice a week. We were cool, calm, and collected. The kids went right out there, and man, what a time for Oscar to show up. And even on the game winner, what a great call by Coach Lunny. He was wide open, but we fumbled the snap. And by the time we got it back up, Agent Zero did one of his crazy little throws that he does. We bounced it off 2 linebackers. The goalpost went back to Oscar, and we won it, right? Just the way we drew it up. So any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
Jeff, how does it feel to be the West Division champ of Conference USA?
It's been a long journey. It really has. And from COVID to George Floyd to an ice storm like we've never had. Kevin Brown tells me there's never bad weather in San Antonio, and I come here and we get all kinds of things going right here. And we finally get a little normalcy, as much as this year can be normal, and it's just been an incredible ride. And you've done a really good job, JJ, reminding people through this year that this is different, people. This is different. We're going to all look back at this one day, and we need to enjoy it. I ask all those 1,000 selfies I took out there, were they still going to love me if we ever lost a game? They all swore they were going to, so I'm holding y'all accountable to that as well, if you love me at all.
Jeff, what can you say about Frank Harris's play in this game and the way he bounced back after last week?
I appreciate you jabbing him and getting after him, because all you do is motivate him and motivate us to show you how right we are, how wrong y'all are for questioning that young man.
Questions?
I was being funny. Please don't say sour coach after championship. Take a shot at idiot. No, Greg does a fantastic job. Keep poking him. Keep poking Frank. He can handle it, I promise you.
Coach, can you talk about the clock management in that last drive from the coach's perspective on the band, and Frank, the job that Frank did managing that clock, almost perfectly?
It's just, we practice it a lot, and I try my best as a head coach to stay calm at all times. My staff tries to do the same, and our players are a reflection of us, and they were calm. And the kid, I thought, intentionally laid down on the field to run some time off, and I hope he's okay. I hope he's not injured. Heads up play by them. But, we practice it a lot. That's all I can say. It's a player's game. They're the ones that got to go execute it. We were the same ones calling all those plays, and we were punting too, right? So it was a great execution. And really proud of my coaches too. I don't give those guys enough credit, because I understand it. When you say it's a player's game all the time, you start bragging on coaches. Well, as soon as it doesn't work right, it's back to the coaches, and it is anyway.
Alejandro?
Hi, Coach. So after that, crucial, what seemed to be a game-turning call,
Yeah.
turning a first down into a fourth down, what were the emotions like on the sideline, and how did you keep the players to stay composed to pull away the way y'all did?
It really is our culture. We live it. We try to live it every day. We really do. We try to be a model of consistency for those young men by the way we carry ourselves. And I try to never, ever, ever, ever lie to them in any way. And sometimes it's tough love. We don't do it in public in front of y'all, but behind closed doors, there's a lot of truth. And I just thought if we could get the ball back in our offensive hand one more time with 60 seconds left, we'd find a way. We just would find a way. And our defense rallied, and I was just so glad he punted it on 4th down an inch. I would have gone for it, but I questioned Bill. Y'all know me, I go for too much anyway, right? That's why Bill's won 3 and I've only won 1. He's a great coach, and yeah, it's just an unbelievable job by the kids.
Steve,
Coach, what does it mean to you to have led the team to their first division title in school history?
I'll be honest, I felt it. I wanted to do it so bad for my president, my AD, our mayor, our city manager, the city. There's so many people that have invested a lot in me, right? And I mean, personally, I wanted to do it for the city and the people that have been so good to us since we've been here. And I swore I wouldn't get emotional, but it means a lot. I mean, it really does. And the crowd showed up, and they were fantastic. Ron's guys always show up, and Sosa, student section always shows up. And man, this city is on fire right now. And I feel for the team's got to come in here in a couple of weeks. I know the Alamo Dome will be rocking.
Ryder, all the way around.
Coach, you guys gave up 349 yards in the first half. So, yeah, but it seems like after halftime, you guys came out with a lot more fire in you, playing hard, flying to the football and everything. What was the message at halftime in the locker room to really get those guys locked back in after you guys kind of got beat down a little in that first half?
It's not what you'd think. We don't point fingers. We don't blame. We were slanting away too much. We made an adjustment at halftime to play a whole lot more base and slant back into it. And but honestly, that all a bunch of coach talk. Our kids just had enough of it, right? And they just came out there and made plays. Yeah, we stayed calm, believe it or not. Dr. Compost didn't have to worry about sending me a bill for any dry erase boards getting smashed like last year at Louisiana Tech. We were calm. We were calm.
Okay, JJ.
Jeff, all week there's been a serious tone about the team, just focused on the magnitude of this week's game. Just what does it feel like after today?
Even Dr. Compost asked me, "What's wrong with you?" When I just get pissed off like that, the world, my teams always somehow just do it. You can't do that every week. My kids will know if it's fake, and they can just feel my sense of urgency. I really thought that team was good. I think they're really good. I didn't know how we were going to cover 11. I didn't know how we were going to cover 20. I didn't know how we were going to stop 22. I didn't know how we were going to stop 1. And they do a great job of their play calls, and their coach is not scared. He doesn't coach scared. He coaches to win. It's a deadly combination when you get the number top 22 defense in the country in every stat, and they have for the last 4 years. So my team could tell that I was worried about these fellas, and I just challenged them to out-culture them. And I know it sounds corny, and some people took shots at me. Soft coach, out-culture, what does that mean, right? Well, for us, it means a lot. There's a right way to play the game, and our kids play the right way. They just do.
Jeff, to your point about their offense, they did move the ball on you guys pretty good in the first half. What did it mean for you guys to come up with that defensive stand at the end to give your offense a chance at winning?
Pretty much the whole second half we'd been that way. I was so disappointed. We kept getting good field position, and we could not put them away. The pick by Jamal Liggins, man, we just couldn't get it done. And that's what champions do, though. And I'm just so proud of them. I can't. That's a big back. That's really good. I mean, Trevor and those guys just kept knocking him. And we just finally got him off the field. What a game. What a game.
Great.
Yeah, Jeff, this was built up through the week as one of the biggest games in program history. What was your overall impression of just how the guys handled that moment and all the pressure?
We talked about that a lot. That's where people mess up. But you're right. It was obviously one of the biggest games in program history. But we just challenged them to do the ordinary, extraordinary. I mean, let's just not try to do something outside of ourselves. Let's don't try to do something too much. And I thought our kids just stayed the course, right? Hey, we've been down 21-0. We've been down a lot this year. I mean, it seems like a lot. We went on a month streak there where we were okay, but the last 2 weeks we've been down. Before that, Western Kentucky back and forth, Illinois. And we're really battle tested, and yeah, it's good stuff.
And Alejandro and Raul.
I got my question answered.
Raul.
Hey, Coach, I'm sorry if you addressed this already, but Can you tell me about the emotions on that play where with the winning touchdown, seemed like the snap was kind of fumbled, it was tipped, and then it sort of seemed like it took forever just to land in his hands.
Yeah, we called basically a play action pass. We just had Oscar go in there and fake a block, and he goes to the back of the lane wide open. But we kind of dropped the snap. By the time we got it back up, the linebacker kind of dropped underneath it. And the way I remember, Frank did one of his little goofy shovel passes right over the top of them, and they tipped it twice, bounced off the goalpost, off the trombone, and back down to Oscar. That's the way I remembered
The
it.
ball was in the air for like 12 seconds.
Just obviously it wasn't in the air long enough because I needed 2 more seconds off that clock. And then, you're worried about kicking an extra point because if they block it, they can go tie it up. And I could tell their guys were kind of done over there. And I wanted to go up 3 just in case of some crazy penalty for celebration. Back it up, then they get some crazy field goal. I don't know. That's just a lot of things to be thinking about with no timeouts. But we pulled it off.
Okay, Ryder.
Coach, Hunter had a huge game today in the kicking department, 51-yarder, 49-yarder, and everything. What does it mean to have just such a stable presence back there to get you those long ones that isn't a gimme in college?
Trust me, my staff hears it every day. Recruit, 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 recruit. Everett's got to get well, and we got to get, to replace that kid, that guy has been just unbelievable. You think of the games he's won just in my 2-year career. It's phenomenal what that kid has done under pressure. From what today, 51, 49, big kicks. And all y'all can just tell how important those points were. And we needed every one of them.
Okay, JJ.
Jeff, what was your impressions of the crowd, the 5th largest in the history of the program tonight?
I'd hate to have been here the 4 other nights. Man, that was just deafening. We can hardly talk to each other. It's phenomenal. You can just tell they love our kids. It's not fake love, right? It's a passion. You can just tell our team has become the football team of San Antonio. You can just feel it. It's because of the way they carry themselves. Who wouldn't like them? Watching all Leroy and Miles' little silly things they do before practice, Rashad, Wisdom, Frank, Sincere, when y'all interview them, who wouldn't like them? There's only about 10 of them in there that are as sour as I am. The rest of them are just unbelievable attitudes and just fun to be around. Who wouldn't root for them? They're hard to not love.
Greg.
Jeff, you told us on Monday that this would come down to the very last play, and this is a trend now. It seems like you say these things and then it happens. How do you do this?
I got to quit doing it. My own staff's like, can you speak a 21-point victory into existence? And I'm like, I just don't feel it. I think it's going to come down to the very last play. And I don't know, Greg. I'm really good. I'm not good at much. But I can, one of the talents the Lord has given me is to be able to watch a game and be able to really assess talent. I can really spot what that is. And I just thought it was a very, very evenly matched game in so many areas. I could tell where we were weak, they were strong. I could tell some areas that we were strong, they were weak. And I just thought it would be, I predicted to my coach it'd be like 31-28. So I wasn't too far off. Yeah, because I had to make decisions based on my decisions before the game. I got to make decisions on how aggressive to be on 4th down, how conservative to be. So I tried my best to make a good talent assessment. And I want my coaches to always be honest and tell me the truth of what they see, right? Because most coaches just do this. The defensive coordinator just always says, oh, they're going to score 60. We're never going to stop them. And the offensive coordinator goes, oh, my God, this is the Chicago Bears 1985 defense. So there's no truth spoken. But my staff doesn't do that. We study, we're very honest and transparent with each other, so I have great information as well from my coaches.
Coach, you touched on the crowd a little bit, over 35,000 in a couple weeks. You're going to be hosting the Conference USA Championship game. What does that mean to this city and this fan base?
Well, first I want to brag, on Dr. Compost and President Amy. Again, I know they're in here, and something I'm kissing up, which I am, but we were supposed to bus to North Texas. And about a month ago, I told her, I'm like, what if we make it the conference championship game? We got to play on a Friday. That's about a 6-hour bus ride. And usually she puts me on the spot, right, and says, are you going to win? No, she never does, ever. She literally just called me and said, look, we're going to fly back. We're going to fly back and get you ready for that conference championship game. So that was huge on her part. That's going to make a difference, right? You're saving coaches 4 hours. You're saving players 4 hours to get back ready for that Friday night game. So I know your question was about the crowd, but it's almost the only time I've allowed myself to go there, because it's like a culture pillar violation, right? And I would expect it would be just even crazier than tonight, I would expect. I don't really know, but they're a fun group to watch. And I don't even know who's winning that side. Is it Western Kentucky? Is anybody? I mean, I think it comes to the next week, Western Kentucky and Marshall. I mean, Bailey Zappi coming in here, that would be, he's pretty good, right? And the last game was what, 56, 50 something? So I imagine there'd be some people in the area that would just come, they're not even just our fans, just to come watch a good football game. So I don't know how large that crowd will be, but we're going to be there. We know that now. Lord willing, the creek don't rise.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Jeff.
Good job, Jeff.